Hi everyone. So today, welcome to the data structure series. So today is the first part where we will be starting learning about data structures. And today we are starting with linked list. So this series will consist of all the data structures. We will start with linked list, try to solve some questions of linked list. Then we will move to stacks. We will solve some questions of stack. Then we will move to queues. Same pattern. So basically we will follow the same pattern. We will first learn about the data structure, about its use cases. Then we will try to do some questions. We will try to do more standard questions, and then we will try to solve more complex problems. We will move to trees, we will move to graphs, and more complex data structure like trees, tries basically. So not trees we have already covered. We will move to tries also basically. So today this is the first part, and today we are going to talk about what are objects basically. So I have a series basically. So first thing we are going to talk about what are objects so because we will be coding in JavaScript, so this is like implementations we will be doing in JavaScript. Concepts are in general, so they are so like what are concepts we learn, they are generic in nature, and every language has own ways to implement them. So if we talk about objects basically, so we are starting with in terms of JavaScript. So what are objects basically? So just try to think. If you have studied, I think you already know about it. So objects are basically to create a data, basically a key value pair data, and you can store anything in it basically. So you can have like corresponding to each key, you can have an array, you can have an objects, and you can have like whole nested like n level nested data structure also. So that means, if you think about it, what that means, so it can store a whole lot of information. So for example, if we see here, so if we say that this is this is a data structure, like we created this one. So now this box can contain all sort of information basically, right? So let's say if we start defining here basically, so let's say name basically, so we can define name can have string, then age can be number. So we will be doing something like Flow.js or TypeScript, so just to use to more the types basically. So we can have name, age, we can have schools basically. Now so if we talk about schools, so a person can go to multiple schools in his history, right? So it can have an array here we can have of school type. Okay, so a user school type, it's just not school type, it's user school type, right? So that means we can have another structure which is user school type, and it can have like start date, which is we can say a format of date. We can have end date, again it's a format of date. Then we can have name, because we know it's already school, so name can have string, it can have city, so something like this, right? Basically, so this is example I'm trying to give you. So this can store whole lot of information basically, right? And similarly basically, and if we use here basically, so like you can clone it also, right? So this is a single, let's say if this in JavaScript, if we are like defining through a function basically, like we can also like if we see, so in JavaScript, objects can be created through direct object. So it can be created directly through curly braces also. That's a one way. And second thing is like if you can have a function user basically, okay, and it can have like this dot name, so I'll start with my name Rahul, so something like that, right? And if you want to like this dot print, okay, so you can have a function, and if you say like console dot log this dot name, right? So if you want to do that basically, so you can create a user object, like you can create you can create as many instances as you want. So here we create we use news or new basically syntax. So if we do this, and if you try to we can just call it user object dot, it can have print. So if I call it print, it will print what should be the output here, Rahul, right? So yeah, so if we see the output, so there's another way basically. So now you see, right? So we have created a form basically, like we created a function, okay, like this is like an object, and I can create as many instances as we want, right? So you are understanding, right? It's like you design a car, so there's a data structure defined, and with the help of the data structure you can use it, you can create multiple instances, like you can create multiple cars of it, right? So for example, you define the schema for let's say Honda City, and you can create as many Honda City as you want with that one. If something is changed in it, then everything new you will be changed. Okay, so that's like about objects basically. So now why we need this, it will help in the next video. Thank you.